You still love each other, you're not constantly fighting, but something feels different. The closeness that used to just be there isn't the same anymore. In this episode, we're talking about why couples sometimes feel emotionally distant, even when the love hasn't disappeared. If you've ever found yourself thinking, why do we keep having the same argument? Or why does connection feel harder than it used to? You're not alone. Welcome to Marriage, Intimacy and Healing with Andrew and Lara.
We're a husband and wife team, blending science-based coaching and clinical nervous system insight to help couples understand what's really happening underneath conflict, distance, and emotional shutdown.
I'm Lara. I'm an ICF PCC certified coach and educator.
And I'm Andrew, a licensed physical therapist specializing in body, mind, heart integration with extensive experience helping high-performing individuals navigate stress, communication, and emotional regulation.
Together, we help you recognize the patterns that pull you apart and offer practical, grounded shifts that bring you back into connection. Let's dive into today's episode. I'm going to start with an example that comes straight out of our real life because we are both working hard. We're in demanding jobs. And honestly, the evenings for us right now, like so many of you, are filled with getting the kids to bed, the kids' homework, the kids running them around, picking them up from dance or baseball or violin. And by the time we get to the end of the day, as so many couples, we are exhausted. Now, here's where I want to flick out of our story into what often happens from this point, putting it into whatever context your busy life might be. You might end up at this point when you're tired, sitting at opposite ends of the couch, scrolling on your phones, not because you don't love each other, but because you've got no bandwidth left. You're just spent. You're not angry. You're just so depleted. Weeks can turn into months. You don't mean for this to happen. And eventually, one of you will probably feel more than say, I'm lonely, I miss us, we've lost our spark, where did we go? Now, the love is still present, but the relational connection has faded under the weight of daily life. And here's what's so interesting about this conversation, because so often when we started our relationship, we put everything into it. It was easy. We would text each other sweet nothings. We would hug each other, touch each other. All the bonding hormones associated with that are firing. It's like, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And there is so much investment in connection.
Yeah, and it's different at that early stage, right?
Yes.
It's a different level.
It's easier. But it's easier too because that actually causes you to come together into a union, get married, say I do's, all of those things. And so that's wonderful. But if it was always like that, it'd actually be really hard. I don't think I could focus.
Yeah, it was definitely overwhelming from like hormones running through and the newness of this woman who loves me completely, and that's so invigorating, and and so that's overwhelming, and that's a high level. I didn't want to sleep.
I didn't sleep either. But the point is that if we were living always in this place rather than looking back and going, why aren't we like that anymore? The body shifts out of it for a reason. We can therefore live our lives and get things done. However, we have to start to be more intentional, and that's not a secret. But a common experience is that the conversation will become logistical instead of romantic. Less curiosity about each other, more just get it done, we've got things to do. Therefore, less laughter, less physical affection, less time. A dialogue example of this might be, how was your day? And instead of, oh, honey, let's just like sit together, and it's like, fine, busy, ugh.
But it's real. It happens, right?
It happens. This is just real. And if this is you, it's normal. But we want to help turn this around for you because the emotional underlayer or underneath this is loneliness. It's just this quiet feeling of loneliness. It's an emotion, actually, a core emotion. It means I need authentic connection and support. So if it's firing in you, it's a message that is trying to do you a favor. It's trying to move you back into connection. It is not a flaw. You're not broken. Or you might be feeling fear, another core emotion that the relationship is drifting. Fear is move to safety. It's a message emotionally firing in your body. I need to get safe. Listen to these emotions. They are trying to help you.
So my pattern in my life has been to shove emotion down and keep functioning. to learn if there's fear, to stamp it down and be stronger or be bigger or braver or whatever else.
What's often happening here in this conversation is that it's not necessarily a loss of love, but it is a lack of intentional connection. Like we said at the start, connection at the beginning can just come so naturally. Life pressure shifts couples into survival mode. Survival mode looks like just task, running on adrenaline, running on cortisol, go. Let's get it done. Let's do this. And then you don't prioritize the connection. And that's where the relationship starts to suffer the consequences of that. Connection becomes secondary to responsibilities for so many of us. That is survival mode. Small relational moments, the little things that actually cause you to come back together and bond, that starts to disappear. So there is a science to what's going on, and when you can start to go, we have to change this pattern, your spouse will thank you for it.
And it makes sense because connection brings bonding systems in our body. Touch, warmth, laughter together. It releases attachment chemicals in our brain. So it's amazing and it's powerful. And so these moments are very strong because there is a physical representation in my body to what's happening with us physically.
So stress begins to dominate the relational environment. So we want to leave you with some really practical tools, simple things that you can do. And we're going to do 3 of them to actually help you repair. The first step in rebuilding closeness is recognizing that there is emotional distance between you to start with. And that emotional distance usually reflects neglected connection rather than a lack of love. Even though you might be feeling like there is a lack of love, it's actually a lack of intentional connection that's going on between you. Both of you can shift this. Often what happens is one person might go, I want him to do it. I want him to be romantic like we were dating. I hear a lot of women say this in coaching. I want him to do it. I'm like, when's the last time you did it? So we're going to do a mindset shift, a language shift, and a behavior shift. The first one, instead of assuming the relationship is failing, recognize that emotional closeness must be actively maintained. So shift out of everything's failing, my spouse isn't romantic anymore, to actually we need to both do the work here. And it's sad. Like there's a sadness and pain that comes up emotionally when you realize, oh my gosh, I never thought this would be us. I thought we would be that couple that made it through and sailed through on love for the rest of our lives. A lot of people get caught up there. The reality is when we find ourselves here, we don't want to find ourselves here. There's sadness in that. But life is full of seasons and busyness. So the next thing I want you to do after you've done in the repair path, mindset shift, language shift, and then behavior shift. Language shift is this. Couples can begin naming the drift without the blame. So an example of this is, I think that we've both been overwhelmed lately and I miss feeling close to you. And this actually invites reconnection instead of defensiveness, like you're not doing this and you're not doing that, which is often what we do when we're in these situations because we are desperately trying to return to that beautiful place of love and ease for connection. But the reality is no relationship. Look, you got married. Marriage is a long commitment. There is seasonal changes and they're biologically there for a reason. And when you recognize, you know what, no one's immune. We have a great marriage, but it didn't just happen because we got to coast on that newlywed love our entire marriage. It's because we've always been intentional. We are really busy. The kids have so many needs and so many demands. But those little moments, those micro moments of connection, they speak volumes if you're going through that season.
And so the behavior shift. So just reintroduce small intentional moments of connection. So that's short check-ins, shared activities, and just planning little things together. It brings that emotional closeness.
Thank you for joining us on Marriage, Intimacy and Healing. Don't forget, if there's someone in pain that you know could do with the extra help, share this with them. Subscribe also so you don't miss an episode that comes out weekly on Wednesdays. And leave a review if you're on an audio platform or a comment if you're on YouTube. And we'll see you next week. Bye for now. Thanks for joining us on today's Marriage, Intimacy and Healing. If this episode supported you, we'd love for you to download our free 3-minute BMH marriage reset at andrewandlaura.com. It's the quickest way to shift out of stress and back into connection And for deeper support and to explore our resources and coaching, you can find everything at andrewandlara.com.
Before you go, following the show or sharing this episode with another couple really helps more people find this kind of support. And we're so grateful when you do.
We're Andrew and Lara, and we'll see you next week.